Collecting antique sewing machines like this 1910 Singer Red Eye or this 1899 Sphinx is an interesting and satisfying hobby, but it does have a couple of problems. Many of these vintage machines come on treadle bases, which while attractive are large pieces of furniture. It doesn't take many of them to fill up a house. They're also heavy and very difficult to move. An even bigger problem is that many treadle-based machines, like this 1918 Model 15, are sold online without their treadle bases, which makes using them almost impossible. Now, you could play musical chairs shifting machines in and out of a treadle base to give each one the chance to show off what it can do. But because of their weight and how they're mounted, extracting one and installing another is quite a job. A simple solution to all these problems is to build this universal treadle base. Simply plop any machine on it, attach a belt, and you're off and running. It easily weighs half a normal base because it doesn't have all the cabinetry and internal iron bracing. Iron foot pedal bases without any woodwork are common and cheap online. In this case, we got it from a thrift store. Although I used 1-inch thick countertop material because I had it available, a piece of scrap 3/4 inch plywood would work just as well. Belt material is plentiful and cheap. In fact, you can even get it from Amazon. But I have to admit, it does have one small problem. As you can see from this collection, antique sewing machines come in all different sizes. This means you need a different belt for each one. Well, sort of. Because the belts connect with simple wire loops, it's easy to add in segments to create any length needed. Start by finding the machine that requires the shortest belt. Make that belt and leave the end hooks slightly open so they can be disconnected and lengthening segments inserted. For example, the machine in our collection with the smallest belt length is this 1905 Singer Model 24 chain stitcher, which by the way runs even quieter than the legendary Wilcox Gibbs sewing machines. Let's say I want to replace it with the much larger 1880 Crown. I separate the ends of the belt, add in the segment for the crown, remove the first machine, place the crown on the table, engage the belt, and we're good to go. With a regular treadle base, this procedure might take as much as 20 minutes, and that's assuming that the two machines are compatible with the base. With this one, it can take less than a minute. All the belts are stored on this organizer. Here's the main belt for the smallest machine, and below it, all the segments needed for the others. By happy accident, several segments support more than one machine. Unlike real treadle bases with cabinetry, which can only hold a very few types of machines, this base can handle everything from toys, like this 1922 Stitchwell, to this glorious 1888 Jones Swan Neck. Although it was designed to be hand-cranked, like many vintage machines, it was also designed with a pulley so it could be mounted on a treadle. I'd like to close with two tricks that are useful for any treadle base. First, consider adding several pounds of weights to the flywheel. These are just some 1-pound weights from an old dumbbell set, zip-tied to the wheel. The extra weight helps keep the wheel in motion so it doesn't stall on the crankshaft's dwell points. The second is this simple loop of string. It makes getting the belt around the flywheel much easier. Normally, you position the belt in this gap in the wheel and then work it around the framework. This is a little awkward and takes a little time. With the loop, because it's thin enough to fit through the framework, all you have to do is place the belt in the wheel, and pull the loop around. Because the string is so thin, it easily fits through the areas that the belt normally couldn't go. It's an easy way for threading your belt. If you have several treadle machines without bases, I hope you found this video helpful. To see all the machines in our collection, please visit my main website at waynesthisthandthat.com. And as always, thanks again for watching.